This is a very important video. However, I'm also late for the airport. I'm flying across the country to visit my in-laws. I got some luggage right here, but YouTube reached out and they're sponsoring this video, which is crazy to say out loud, but they wanted me to talk about how after all these years of making videos, how the passion and the creativity, just the process of making videos has changed over the years for us. But in doing so, and in researching that and prepping for this video, I realized something kind of wild about my YouTube career, kind of crazy. I will tell you about it after this 5-hour flight with a 2-year-old when I'm on the other side of the country. So wish me luck, Godspeed. I will see you on the other side. This is little Harris. This is newly turned 18-year-old Harris in his college dorm, a music major at the University of Utah. He had no idea what this is going to turn into. And I noticed something this morning. In less than a month, in September again, I turned 36. This is exactly half my life ago. I've been a YouTuber of some form for exactly half my life. If you're younger than me, you need to understand what this is. This is 2006 YouTube. There was no YouTube partnership program. There were no sponsorships. There was no money in posting this video in my dorm. The word influencer or content creator wouldn't even show up for another 10 years. There wasn't even the social clout of getting likes and subscribers yet. We just made and posted videos because we wanted to share something with the world. I find this video and I watch it about once a year, just to remind myself of the why. Like, why that Harris posts videos. And if I could go back and tell 18-year-old Harris some of the secrets that I know now, like secrets from the future, from future Harris, I would tell him 3 things. 3 things that I think would make this really awkward, lonely, and kind of lost Harris feel a little bit hopeful about his future.
Would you tell him he has Asperger's?
Oh, he doesn't know yet. Oh, I think the poor guy needs to know. Yeah, I think I'd tell him. That's not going to be one of the 3, though. That's just a bonus.
Okay.
One thing I wouldn't tell younger Harris is how much. I wouldn't tell him how many subscribers he would have. I wouldn't tell him how much sponsors pay YouTubers in the future. I wouldn't tell him tricks about the algorithm. I wouldn't even tell him that YouTube would eventually sponsor his videos and ask him to tell the world his YouTube experience. It'd be tempting because it blows my mind. It would definitely blow his mind. These things are important, but they also can get in the way. Like, these aren't the things that lit the fire to make videos in the first place. And if you're not careful, they can be the things to put out the fire. So if I were to go back and I were to tell 18-year-old brand new YouTuber Harris 3 things, the first thing I would tell him is to stop playing so much music. I loved playing music. I still love playing music. But at the time, the main reason I was playing so much music is because I thought it was my only option. I had decided I was going to school for music, I was going to get my music degree, and then I would go on and start a music store or work in a recording studio, and that's what I would do for the rest of my life. I had chosen a music degree, and so that was my future. And that's just the way it works. And I didn't even try anything new for another 8 years until I thought it'd be fun to dabble in animation for one of my guitar music videos, which, by the way, you will never find, no matter how hard you look for it. And from that one experiment, things snowballed, and I tried a bunch of new art styles, and I learned that apparently I'm not that passionate about guitar. I'm just passionate about creating beautiful things. And it just so happens to be that YouTube is the place where no matter what beautiful thing you have a passion to make, that passion can pay off. It can be video games, it can be animation, it can be tech, or learning Japanese. And all these things have an equally thriving career path on YouTube. And I think if 18-year-old Harris understood that better, he would have let himself indulge in some of these little trivial interests that he felt were kind of a waste of time. And I think that would have made him really happy. The second thing I'd tell him is whenever he had a weird little idea, write it down. Every single one. If you'd told me 18 years ago that I would end up making a music service for creators that would be used in over 10 million videos, or a tool for live streamers that would end up being downloaded over 600,000 times, and because of those cool things, I would go to conventions and have a community of thousands of people who know my name and just want to spend some time with me, I think I would have dropped out a little sooner and pursued what I'm doing. I paid for 5 years of college before getting the courage and trusting myself enough to go out and make my own path, do it on my own. And I think there's kind of a beautiful irony here that I needed that confidence in order to really start YouTube. But it ended up being YouTube and the community that surrounded me that gave me that confidence that I needed. Frustrating and beautiful, probably both. I listen to my weird little ideas more now than I used to, and sometimes I wonder if there were any golden nugget ideas that got left on the cutting room floor years ago. The last thing I would tell this younger Harris is based around a core memory that I have. My college roommate, Alex, who I just met that month, showed me YouTube just a couple weeks before posting this video. Like, this is our dorm room here. This is my desk on the left, his bed in the back, and then his desk was on the right side, so we would sit facing back to back. And I vividly remember, I turned around and I asked him, I said, "Hey, what was that one video website you showed me earlier?" And he goes, "Oh, you mean YouTube?" I was like, "Yeah, YouTube." I love that my brain stored that tiny conversation in long-term memory because it was so tiny at the time, but that may have been one of the most pivotal conversations of my life. And about a week later, I posted this video. For the third thing that I would tell him, I think I would show up right after I hit publish on that video. Right when I'm feeling that upload high that you get from hitting that publish button. And I would tell him that that passion that he's feeling right now of creating and sharing videos with the world would still be there 18 years later. And that this little video website, YouTube, would become a central, pivotal foundation of my life and something that I think about every day. Because 18-year-old Harris, well, I guess both this Harris also, we were raised with very hardworking, very traditional parents. And things like YouTube were hobbies, and they only came after the important stuff like school and work were done. And I wonder how different those things would have been if I had known how pivotal YouTube would end up being in my life. Like, would I prioritize my time differently and give myself the time to pursue these things without feeling guilty about spending that time on it? And I wonder how differently I would have spent my time if I'd known that YouTube would be a central point in my life later on. I think I would have let myself prioritize things that made me happy but felt like a waste of time at the time. Just knowing that YouTube would end up supporting me and my family financially. Not the exact numbers, but knowing that YouTube would send me to Japan and to go on an international tour with my wife. I still remember the announcement when the YouTube Partnership Program started, and a small handful of creators were invited to start making money on YouTube. That was crazy to me. That program alone has helped me take the tiny little quirky ideas I have and not only just put them in front of people, but properly turn them into a business and monetize them so that I can justify spending time on these weird little things. It's been really fun to look back and see all the little twists and turns and new social media platforms and new metas, new ideas, that all of those are windy, twisty branches off the trunk that is YouTube. At the end of the day, all the fun extremities, they all lead back to YouTube. Even right now, I'm starting 2 new YouTube channels about things that I'm deeply passionate about. And without YouTube being the core of them, they would kind of feel like a waste of time. But because after 18 years, I know how to tie any idea that I might have into a business model using YouTube and their tools, I have a hard time saying no. When 18 years ago, I would have never dreamed of saying yes. So anyway, I feel like I need to do something special for my 20 year that's coming up in 2 years. I don't know what to do. If you have any ideas, put them down below. YouTube, I'll never be able to thank you enough for being a thing. Thank you for being a thing. Happy creating, you guys.